The skyline burned with rich amber colors, while evening quietly folded itself across the city. Every rooftop caught the final sunlight, like a cathedral built from ordinary bricks. I climbed the tallest hill carrying questions too heavy for crowded streets. Below me the world continued moving without hesitation. Above me the first stars patiently waited for their turn. The wind scattered loose pages from my notebook across the grass. Each page carried dreams I had once been afraid to say aloud. Watching them dance into the fading light felt strangely freeing. Not every story needs to remain in our hands forever. Some are meant to find new readers. Church bells echoed across distant neighborhoods with calm determination. Families gathered around warm tables while laughter drifted through open windows. The smell of fresh bread floated gently through the evening air. Life quietly celebrated itself all around me. I finally noticed I was smiling too. A single bird crossed the glowing horizon without looking back. Its steady wings seemed untouched by doubt. I envied that effortless confidence for only a moment. Then I remembered every creature finds courage differently. Comparison quietly lost its power. Night settled over the skyline with velvet softness. Thousands of windows lit up beneath the stars. Every light represented another unseen life, another hidden hope, another reason to believe the world is larger than sorrow. I whispered every regret into the cool evening breeze. The wind accepted each one without judgment. It carried them far beyond the sleeping city. My shoulders suddenly felt lighter. Forgiveness had finally learned my name. Whenever another amber sunset finds me standing alone, I remember this quiet hill above the endless lights. I remember that peace often arrives unnoticed. I remember to greet tomorrow with open hands, and I'll keep singing until the sky answers back. Blue matches never bloom. I lit another match against the cold, because sometimes tiny flames understand loneliness better than crowded rooms. Your silhouette floated across the hallway like smoke refusing to disappear with the dawn. Every cracked window carried the perfume of forgotten summers and unfinished apologies. The clock kept moving while my memory stubbornly refused to obey the passing hours. I realized healing often arrives long after hope has already packed its bags. You collected beautiful lies the way children gather seashells beside endless oceans. I collected every honest tear because they were the only things that still belong to me. Our laughter echoed through empty apartments until even the walls grew tired of pretending. The evening sky folded itself into shades of violet and weary gold above our restless dreams. No map could ever lead us back to the people we used to be. The piano spoke first whenever silence became too heavy for either of us to carry. His worn-out keys remembered every confession that our lips refused to release. Outside, taxis chased distant headlights through streets washed clean by patient rain. Inside, my heartbeat rehearsed another farewell without asking whether I was ready. The melody survived long after the conversation finally surrendered. Every photograph smiled with impossible confidence, while reality quietly unraveled behind the frame. You looked fearless beneath those frozen moments, although I knew how often darkness called your name. I kept every picture because memory deserves witnesses, even when truth becomes uncomfortable. Dust gathered over yesterday without ever burying what mattered most. Love remained visible beneath every forgotten layer. There are mornings that arrive carrying mercy inside pale sunlight and quiet bird song. There are evenings that steal courage with nothing more than an empty chair across the table. There are strangers whose kindness briefly repairs invisible wounds. And there are songs born from nights too complicated for ordinary conversations. This became one of those songs before either of us noticed. I stopped blaming the rain for every tear, because storms eventually learn to move on. I stopped blaming the mirror because it only reflected the battles already living inside me. The city continued breathing despite our unfinished story. The river carried forgotten promises toward seas neither of us would ever see. Still I whispered your name once more before letting the current decide its fate. When the final note fades into the early morning air, I hope it finds someone still brave enough to believe. May every cracked voice discover beauty hidden inside its imperfections. May every lonely heart remember that darkness never owns the sunrise forever. May every farewell leave behind at least one reason to keep singing. And may these blue matches finally become the light they were always trying to find. Inside the ancient cathedral, hundreds of small candles shimmered beneath towering stone arches. The gentle flames transformed silence into something warm enough to hold. Colored glass scattered crimson sapphire and golden light across the worn floor. Every beam looked like a blessing, patiently waiting to be discovered. I entered carrying burdens that suddenly seemed much smaller. The echo of distant footsteps disappeared into the high ceiling above. No hurried voices interrupted the peaceful stillness. Even time appeared to slow its endless march. My heartbeat found a calmer rhythm. The quiet welcomed every unfinished thought. I lit a single candle and watched its tiny flame stand bravely against the darkness. It never questioned whether its light was enough. It simply continued shining. That quiet confidence taught me more than countless conversations. Strength rarely needs to announce itself. Stone streets with gentle persistence. Inside, warmth gathered around every flickering light. Two different worlds existed only a few steps apart. Both were beautiful in their own way. Both deserve gratitude. Began playing somewhere beyond the empty wooden pews, as deep notes filled every hidden corner of the cathedral. The music rose slowly toward the vaulted ceiling. For a moment every worry became weightless. Every breath felt like a new beginning. When I finally stepped back into the cool evening air, the rain had already stopped. Fresh reflections shimmered across the quiet streets. The whole city looked reborn. Perhaps I had changed as well. If my voice ever grows tired beneath the weight of another difficult season, may I remember this cathedral filled with quiet flames. May I remember the courage of one small candle. May I remember that hope never asked permission to shine. May every song I write carry a little of that light, wherever it goes. Champagne for the lonely tide. The waves arrive beneath a silver moon, carrying forgotten names that only the sea still remembered. A lonely bottle of champagne rested unopened beside my warm leather shoes. The shoreline stretched endlessly before me, like a diary waiting for another confession. Every breeze carried the scent of salt midnight, an impossible forgiveness. I raised the glass to the sky because there was no one else left to toast. Far across the water, a small sailboat drifted without hurry beneath scattered constellations. Its lantern glowed softly against the darkness, like hope refusing to surrender. The tide erased every footprint behind me before I could change my mind. The sea has never believed in holding on forever. It teaches every traveler the elegance of letting go. I remember the evenings when your laughter blended perfectly with crashing waves. Back then every horizon looked close enough to touch. Every sunrise promised another beautiful adventure. We believed forever belonged to ordinary people. Youth often tells the sweetest stories. Clouds slowly gather above the quiet ocean until stars disappeared one by one. Even darkness seemed graceful over restless water. The wind wrapped around my shoulders like an old companion. It never asked difficult questions, it simply stayed beside me. The champagne finally sparkled beneath the moonlight before disappearing into the waiting sea. Tiny bubbles floated across the waves like scattered memories. Some celebrations belong only to the heart. Some farewells deserve quiet music instead of applause. This was one of them. Morning painted the ocean with endless shades of gold and pale blue. The empty bottle rested peacefully beside smooth stones. It no longer represented loneliness. It had become another witness to survival. Sometimes that is more than enough. Wherever the tide carries my forgotten reflections, may they become gentle songs for strangers searching the shoreline. May every wave empty glass with hope. And may the sea forever protect the stories we leave behind. The crimson lantern outside the corner bar swayed gently against the restless midnight wind. His light spilled across the pavement like melted rubies scattered beneath tired shoes. I stood beneath its glow, wondering whether destiny ever changes its favorite destinations. Behind the door, another piano searched for hearts willing to confess. Mine answered before I could stop it. Your eyes carried entire oceans, disguised behind effortless confidence. Anyone could mistake them for calm water until the storms quietly arrived. I sailed toward them without asking whether safe harbors truly existed. Hope has always been wonderfully reckless. Perhaps that is why it survives longer than reason. The bartender polished another glass while listening to stories that all sounded strangely familiar. Every customer carried invisible luggage too heavy for ordinary conversation. Music became the only language nobody argued with. For a little while we belonged to the same fragile chorus. The midnight gently collected each of us again. Outside, the river reflected the lantern until the water looked like liquid fire. I watched the current erase every reflection almost as quickly as it created them. Nothing beautiful seems interested in staying forever, yet beauty continues arriving anyway. Maybe that is its greatest act of courage. The morning train rolled across the bridge, wrapped in pale golden light. Passengers stared through the windows, carrying hopes too private to explain. I imagined every suitcase holding another unfinished love story. Every destination promised another beginning. Every goodbye secretly carried one as well. I finally understood that forgiveness is not forgetting. It is choosing to stop letting yesterday borrow tomorrow's happiness. The realization arrived quietly, almost shyly, like sunlight entering a room whose curtains had remained closed for years. Everything looked different without changing at all. So let this symphony travel farther than my footsteps ever could. Let every verse find someone standing beneath their own lonely lantern. Let every melody remind them that hearts are stronger than they appear. every ending become the doorway to another song, and let the crimson light continue shining long after the music fades. Golden Ashes Motel. Yeah. The old motel sign flickered against the midnight sky, as though it still believed forgotten travelers might discover another chance before dawn. I carried a suitcase filled with letters that had long ago stopped expecting an answer from anyone. Your voice lingered in the hallway like warm sunlight trapped inside cracked wooden walls. Every room smelled of faded roses, old cigarettes, and promises abandoned before they could bloom. I checked in with nothing except a hopeful smile and a heart already learning how to break. The woman at the front desk greeted me with tired kindness that only years of surviving can teach. She handed me a rusted key that felt heavier than every memory hidden inside my coat. The ceiling fan turned slowly above my bed like an old clock refusing to surrender to time. Outside, distant headlights painted silver lines across the rain-soaked parking lot. I wondered if one of them might somehow bring you back. Sleep never arrived, choosing instead to wander through forgotten highways with restless souls. I listened to the humming neon sign, repeating the same lonely chorus all night long. Even the silence carried footsteps that belonged to people already gone. Every heartbeat sounded louder than the passing trucks outside. The darkness seemed strangely comforting, despite everything it refused to hide. Morning entered quietly through faded curtains, carrying soft light and forgiving colors. For a brief moment, the room looked almost beautiful enough to believe in new beginnings. Dust floated through the air like tiny stars searching for another sky. I smiled because hope had survived another difficult night. Sometimes that alone feels like a miracle. The highway stretched endlessly beyond the motel like a ribbon tied around forgotten dreams. Every mile invited me toward a future I couldn't yet imagine. The radio found an old melody that understood my silence perfectly. I drove without looking back at the empty parking space. Some chapters deserve a gentle farewell instead of another explanation. Clouds gathered above distant mountains while sunlight continued fighting through every opening. The quiet struggle reminded me of my own heart refusing to surrender. much later. If I ever return to that lonely roadside motel again, I hope the sign still glows against another restless midnight sky. I hope another traveler discovers courage inside those quiet walls. I hope every goodbye left there eventually becomes someone's fresh beginning. And I hope my own story keeps driving toward brighter horizons. There was a boulevard where every lamp glowed like a promise, borrowed from another lifetime. You laughed beneath those lights as though the darkness had forgotten your name forever. I memorized the sound because beautiful things rarely ask permission before leaving. The wind carried your perfume through the empty avenue until dawn finally interrupted. Even sunrise seemed reluctant to erase the magic we had imagined together. The taxi disappeared around the corner while my heartbeat stubbornly refused to follow. Every traffic light changed with perfect timing, except the one inside my chest. The skyline shimmered across the river like scattered diamonds dropped by careless angels. I wondered how a city so alive could still make one person feel invisible. The answer arrived only after silence had already settled beside me. The trumpet from the old jazz club drifted into the street like smoke from forgotten dreams. Couples danced without noticing the lonely stranger applauding from the sidewalk. I smiled anyway because envy had grown too tired to speak. Some nights deserve admiration even when they refuse to include you. This became one of those unforgettable nights. Oh, the photographs inside my wallet slowly faded, but the stories remain brighter than fresh paint. Every wrinkle across the paper marked another year spent learning forgiveness. Every face reminded me that love leaves fingerprints even after letting go. The past never completely disappears, it simply whispers more softly with time. Winter arrived carrying silver mornings and quiet conversations with frozen trees. The park benches stood patiently beneath falling snow like faithful witnesses. I sat there until the cold reached every hidden corner of my thoughts. Only then did I realize words I have been waiting for myself all along. Sometimes the longest journey begins inside one silent breath. Your memory became less like a wound and more like an old record resting safely on the shelf. I no longer fear hearing its melody. Instead, I welcomed it like an old friend visiting after many distant years. Grief slowly exchanged its sharp edges for gentle reflections. Peace entered without knocking. Now when I pass that boulevard beneath another glowing evening sky, I no longer search every crowd hoping to recognize your silhouette. Instead, I thank the streets for protecting every chapter we once shared. Some stories are complete precisely because they ended, and every echo deserves a place where it can finally rest. Hundreds of lanterns floated above the river as twilight slowly wrapped the city in deep shades of indigo. Each glowing light carried someone's quiet wish into the peaceful evening air. You watched them rise with eyes full of dreams, too precious to explain. I wondered whether hope always looked this beautiful from a distance. Perhaps that was why nobody wanted the night to end. The river welcomed every reflection without asking where it had come from. Golden lights trembled gently across the moving water, like fragile pieces of another universe. Children laughed along the riverbank, while musicians filled the air with gentle harmonies. For a little while, the whole world seemed perfectly balanced. Even sorrow stepped aside to let happiness breathe. The breeze grew cooler as darkness settled across the rooftops. Your scarf danced softly beside your shoulders like another wandering lantern. I reached for your hand without speaking. Some gestures understand everything that language cannot carry. The silence between us became wonderfully complete. Far away, church bells welcomed the arriving evening with patient confidence. Their echoes drifted through narrow streets lined with old stone buildings. Every window glowed with stories unfolding behind quiet curtains. The city seemed alive with invisible songs. I felt grateful simply to witness them. Later we wandered beneath ancient trees where fallen leaves whispered beneath our feet. The branches stretched overhead like protective hands, sheltering forgotten promises. Stars slowly emerged between the leaves. Every new light felt like another reason to keep believing. Faith often arrives dressed as simple beauty. When midnight finally embraced the sleeping streets, the last land and disappeared beyond the distant hills. Its fading glow reminded me that endings can still be breathtaking. Not everything beautiful must remain forever. Some miracles exist only long enough to change us. Whenever another indigo evening paints the sky, I remember those quiet lanterns rising toward endless stars. I remember your peaceful smile beside the gentle river. I remember that hope is lighter than fear, and I'll keep sending silent wishes into the night. Every neon sign shimmered like a promise too beautiful to survive another sunrise. Across these sleepless streets, you reach for my hand as though the world could stop spinning if our fingers simply refuse to let go. The saxophone cried somewhere beyond the corner cafe, wrapping lonely strangers inside velvet echoes. I smiled because it was easier than admitting fear had quietly rented every room inside my heart. The night applauded our performance while secretly preparing the curtain to fall. We borrowed tomorrow from dreams that had already gone bankrupt before we even opened our eyes. Your voice carried enough warmth to soften frozen winters, yet it couldn't melt the distance growing between us. Every kiss tasted like borrowed time, wrapped inside expensive perfume and fading cigarette smoke. The pavement remembered our footsteps longer than we remembered how to trust ourselves. Still the moon watched us with patient eyes, full of impossible forgiveness. Coffee turned cold while conversations searched desperately for endings that wouldn't leave permanent scars. The records kept spinning because silence frightened both of us more than another beautiful lie. I watched your reflection disappear inside the train window before the station swallowed your name. Every departing whistle sounded like another chapter closing without asking anyone for permission. Only my heartbeat stayed behind to finish reading the story. Rain painted silver rivers across forgotten rooftops where lonely birds waited for daylight without complaint. I danced alone inside the kitchen, pretending your laughter still floated through the narrow hallway. Oh, let us smell the faded roses and stubborn hope folded carefully between every sentence. The ceiling learned every prayer I whispered after midnight when courage finally fell asleep. Even silence seemed exhausted from carrying our unfinished conversations. There are bars where broken souls become regular customers long before their names are remembered. There are songs that choose their singers only after enough tears have polished every hidden note. There are mirrors that reveal truths no friend is brave enough to speak aloud. And there are nights like this one, where every star appears close enough to forgive. I keep searching those skies, although my hands always return empty. Perhaps love was never meant to stay forever beneath the same tired streetlights. Perhaps every goodbye secretly teaches another melody waiting somewhere beyond heartbreak. Perhaps your memory only hurts because it still carries pieces of the person I once believed I could become. The wind collected those fragments one by one without ever asking who they belonged to. I simply watched them disappear into another beautiful horizon. If tomorrow remembers my name, let it remember the songs before it remembers the sorrow. If strangers hear this voice, let them hear hope hidden beneath every crack. If the night returns again, I'll welcome it without pretending to be fearless, because even shattered hearts can still dance beneath fading city lights. And every ending quietly hides the rhythm of another beginning. The evening leaned against my window, wearing colors that only lonely souls ever seem to recognize. Your footsteps disappeared long before the echo admitted that you were truly gone. I held the cracked porcelain cup like it still remembered the warmth of your careful hands outside. Strangers hurry toward lives that look complete beneath the yellow street lights. Inside, I watched another dream quietly fold itself into the smallest corner of the room. You always smiled as if sadness were merely another fashionable coat you could remove before sunrise. I believed every promise, because hope has never been very good at protecting itself. The old radio hummed forgotten melodies while dust floated like tiny ghosts through the afternoon light. Every second stretched into another excuse for refusing to say goodbye. Every silence became heavier than the conversations we kept postponing. The city carried our memories without ever asking permission from either one of us. Every cafe still smelled like the afternoons we wasted pretending forever was inexpensive. The waitress recognized my face but wisely avoided mentioning your name. Even kindness sometimes understands when questions should remain asleep. So I thanked her with a tired smile and another untouched cup of coffee. Rain arrived softly, washing the sidewalks until they reflected broken pieces of the evening sky. My coat grew heavier with every block, yet I kept walking without choosing a destination. Some losses cannot be outrun, no matter how many streets unfold beneath your feet. Some songs are written by footsteps instead of ink. This one followed me home before I realized it had already begun. I opened every drawer, searching for something that never had a physical shape. Old letters breathed quietly beneath faded ribbons tied by younger hands. Every page carried dreams, too innocent to imagine endings. Every sentence still believed tomorrow belonged to us. I closed the box before nostalgia convinced me to stay. The moon watched without judgment as I traded certainty for another sleepless night. The stars refused to answer questions they had heard from countless hearts before mine. Perhaps they already knew that healing arrives without announcing its direction. Perhaps every lonely road secretly bends toward mercy. I kept walking anyway, because standing still hurt even more. If these words ever reach another soul staring through another rain-covered window, may they discover that broken moments can still grow into beautiful melodies. May they understand that love never truly disappears, it simply changes its address. May they keep singing even when no one seems to be listening. And may every paper moon someday shine brighter than the memories beneath it. The harbor rested beneath a blanket of stars, while quiet waves carried whispers from distant places. Fishing boats rocked gently like lullabies written for hearts too tired to sleep. You stood at the edge of the wooden pier, watching the horizon without saying a word. Your silence felt deeper than the ocean resting before us. I realized not every confession needs a voice. The salty breeze wrapped around our shoulders with unexpected tenderness. Seagulls drifted through the morning sky like scattered pages from forgotten journals. The lighthouse continued turning faithfully through every passing hour, its patience patient light reminded me that guidance often arrives without speaking. Some forms of love are just steady enough to keep us moving. Clouds painted gentle shadows across the sea until water and sky almost became the same. I searched your reflection instead of your face. Sometimes truth hides where certainty cannot reach. The tide erased our footprints before noon. Still the memory refused to disappear. Old sailors laughed inside the harbor cafe while telling stories too extraordinary to verify. Every wrinkle across their faces carried another impossible adventure. I listened carefully, hoping courage might be contagious. Perhaps it truly was, because I left feeling lighter than when I arrived. Afternoon sunlight danced across the waves like thousands of tiny mirrors. Every sparkle suggested another direction, waiting beyond familiar shores. Fear asked me to remain where everything felt predictable. Hope quietly untied the rope holding my boat. The decision suddenly became obvious. The wind filled the sails with invisible determination. The shoreline slowly faded into gentle blue distance. I waved toward everything I once believed I couldn't leave behind. Nothing answered except the sea, yet somehow that felt enough. Wherever these waters finally choose to carry me, may I remember the harbor without becoming trapped inside it. May every horizon remain an invitation instead of goodbye. May every storm reveal another hidden sunrise. And may every silhouette eventually become light. Smoke between the roses. The roses outside my window had already surrendered their brightest colors before the sun even found its rhythm. Thin ribbons of smoke drifted through the quiet evening, as if they carried forgotten conversations from another lifetime. You leaned against the doorway, wearing a smile that looked beautiful enough to hide every invisible wound. The old wooden floor remembered every step we took, while pretending tomorrow would never arrive. I watched the fading sunlight settle across your face and wish time would lose its way for just one more hour. Every candle burned with patient determination, while the room filled with warm amber shadows. The clock continued its endless work without caring how desperately we needed one more moment outside. Passing cars sounded like distant waves crashing against unseen shores. Inside, our silence became gentler than any promise we could have spoken aloud. Sometimes love breathes strongest when words finally decide to rest. You trace forgotten circles across the dusty tabletop while humming a melody too quiet to remember. The tune floated gently through the air until even the curtains seemed to sway beside it. I imagined every note becoming another bird escaping toward an endless blue sky. The evening listened carefully as though it feared missing a single heartbeat. Not every audience needs applause to understand beauty. Rain arrived without warning, tapping softly against the old glass like careful fingertips. The scent of wet earth drifted through the open window and settled beside us. Every drop erased another layer of yesterday from the streets below. Yet the memories inside the room remained untouched by the storm. Some stories are written where no weather can ever reach. The fireplace offered its quiet warmth while the world outside slowly disappeared beneath darkness. Tiny sparks floated upward like hopeful prayers, searching for a place to belong. I close my eyes and listen to your breathing, blend with the crackling wood. Peace can sometimes sound astonishingly ordinary. That ordinary miracle became everything I needed. Morning eventually found us, surrounded by pale golden light and unfinished dreams. The roses looked different after the rain, stronger somehow despite losing a few petals. Your smile carried the same quiet resilience. I realized beauty often survives by accepting change instead of resisting it. That lesson stayed with me long after you were gone. If another garden ever blooms beneath another unfamiliar sky, may its flowers remember the songs we left behind. May its mornings carry the same gentle light across waiting hearts. May every drifting thread of smoke become another path toward hope. And may every rose bloom without fearing the seasons ahead. The record player crackled softly as the first light of morning slipped across the wooden floor. Every scratch upon the vinyl sounded like another memory, refusing to fade away. You closed your eyes and smiled as though music alone could repair everything we had lost. For a little while I believed it could. Some melodies are powerful enough to borrow hope from tomorrow. Coffee steamed beside the window while birds welcomed another ordinary miracle. The curtains moved gently with the breeze, like dancers too graceful for applause. I watched dust sparkle through the sunlight. Even forgotten things look beautiful in the right light. Perhaps hearts work the same way. We spoke about dreams we had hidden for far too many years. None of them sounded impossible anymore. Time had softened our fears without asking permission. Age had quietly replaced certainty with gratitude. That exchange felt strangely fair. The city slowly awakened beyond the glass, with buses, bicycles, laughter, and hurried footsteps. Life continued composing its endless orchestra. Every stranger carried a rhythm of their own. Every street offered another unwritten chorus. Every sunrise invited another attempt. The final track began spinning across the old black vinyl. Its melody floated through every room we had once filled with laughter. I realized endings are often gentler than imagination predicts. Sometimes they arrive carrying peace instead of pain. Sometimes they simply ask us to listen. The needle reached the center and silence quietly took its place. No applause followed, only the soft breathing of a brand new day. The silence sounded complete rather than empty. I welcomed it without fear. So if this becomes the last song the morning ever hears from me, let it carry gratitude instead of regret. Let every note honor the rose that shaped my soul. Let every sunrise remember the music long after the record stops spinning. And let love continue playing where words can no longer reach. Velvet cigarette rain. The smoke curls slowly through the cracks of the lonely midnight room, carrying every promise that dissolved before the morning came. Your shadow danced across the walls like a memory refusing to leave. while the old piano whispered secrets no one else could hear. I poured another glass just to convince my trembling hands they still belong to me, though every sip only deepened the silence. The city lights look beautiful from far away, but every window seemed to hold another version of the goodbye we never spoke. I kept pretending that broken hearts could still learn new melodies, even when every note echoed your forgotten name. You wore your laughter like expensive perfume, hiding every bruise beneath the velvet smile that fooled the entire room. The jukebox played another tired love song, but somehow ours never found its place among those polished records. I counted every heartbeat between your words, searching for the honesty that disappeared behind another careful excuse. Outside, the rain polished the empty streets until they reflected every mistake we tried so hard to bury. Inside, I learned that loneliness can sit beside you even while someone gently holds your hand. Morning arrived dressed in pale gold, but it couldn't bleach the stains left behind by restless nights and restless souls. Your lipstick remained upon the coffee cup like a signature on a chapter that neither of us dared to finish. I walked through familiar neighborhoods where strangers smiled without knowing they were crossing sacred ruins. Even the church bell sounded exhausted from blessing people who kept breaking each other's hearts. Still I carried your ghost inside my pocket, folded carefully beside all the dreams that never grew old. There was a time when every conversation tasted sweet enough to quiet the storms inside my restless chest. Now every sentence falls apart before reaching daylight, leaving only scattered vows floating through the air. The mirror remembers every version of me that believed forever could fit inside one fragile evening. Your absence became another piece of furniture, impossible to ignore and impossible to move away. Some nights I almost thank the darkness for hiding the tears that daylight would surely expose. The bartender never asked my story because sadness had already paid for another seat beside the counter. Glass after glass reflected pieces of the woman I used to be before hope learned how to whisper instead of sing. Every stranger carried familiar eyes, yet none of them knew the language our silence invented. The moon stayed awake like an old friend, refusing to abandon someone who had forgotten how to dream. I raised my empty hands toward tomorrow, praying they might someday feel lighter than yesterday. If love was truly honest, why did it arrive dressed like mercy and leave disguised as mercy's twin? The streets forgave our footsteps long before we learned how to forgive ourselves. Old photographs smiled without shame, preserving moments that reality could never protect. Every scar beneath my skin became another verse no audience would ever completely understand. Yet somehow the melody survived, where every promise quietly disappeared. Tonight I'll leave the window so someone else may hear this song and think it belongs to another lonely soul entirely. But every word was carved from nights that refused to end until the sunrise surrendered. And I'll keep singing because broken voices sometimes tell the truest stories. Whispers from the velvet station. The station echoed with footsteps, distant announcements, and dreams preparing to board unfamiliar destinations. Every traveler carried a different story hidden behind calm expressions. Your ticket rested carefully between trembling fingers. The platform lights reflected across polished rails like silver rivers stretching toward tomorrow. I realized departures always arrive earlier than expected. Beneath the great iron roof, while strangers slowed their hurried pace, the melody drifted through the station with graceful confidence. Even busy schedules surrendered for a few precious moments. Music united people who would never learn each other's names. That felt strangely comforting. The train appeared through the morning mist, like a promise slowly taking shape. Steam rose gently into the pale sky before disappearing completely. You turned toward me wearing the bravest smile I had ever seen. Sometimes courage looks almost identical to heartbreak. Only time can tell the difference. The whistle echoed across the platform, and every waiting heart seemed to pause together. Doors opened with quiet certainty. Passengers embraced, laughed, cried, and whispered final blessings. Life rarely separates joy from sadness. Instead, it teaches them to travel side by side. As the train rolled forward, the distance between us quietly grew. I kept waving long after your face became another reflection inside the window. Hope remained standing beside me even after the platform emptied. Its company felt unexpectedly gentle. Perhaps resilience begins exactly there. Years later I returned to the same station beneath another cool autumn morning. Everything looked different yet somehow familiar. The violinist was gone, but the echoes remained. Memories often outlive the people who create them. That truth no longer frightened me. So if another train someday calls my name, I'll step aboard carrying gratitude instead of fear. I'll trust every unfamiliar track leading toward unseen horizons. welcome every goodbye as another hidden beginning, and I'll follow the whispers wherever they choose to lead.